One thing that I love about anime is that there is such a variety of stories in this medium. We have stories ranging from just following characters in their day-to-day life to just having these stories with these big, epic, bombastic battles for the sake of the world or the universe, or insert anything that the story needs. And then we have stuff like Nichijou.
総員戦闘開始なんつって
Now, obviously, this is not exclusive to just anime. You can literally talk about this with any form of media. But since my channel focuses mainly on anime and manga, we're gonna hyper focus on that. To get back on track, I'm gonna be talking about a series that when I first watched it when it came out, a lot of the themes and subtext eluded me and I didn't really pick up on that. And when I watched it again recently, I picked up on all this stuff. And it just made me like this series a lot more. So between then and now, my media literacy has gone up a few levels. Aquatope in the White Sand is an anime that could teach us about the difficulties of growing up and how someone can be burdened by the past and how that affect their future, and the importance of letting go of things in the past, because sometimes that can affect not only your present, but your future as well. Before we continue, I was kicking around this idea from this video for a while before I actually, started to script it and do stuff for it. And then I found this comment. And this really fueled me to want to make this video even more. I kind of got one guide into making this, just a little bit. Do with that information what you will. The plot really isn't that crazy. We have our two main characters, Fuka and Kukuru, and they work at this aquarium named Gama Gama. And this aquarium is ran by Kukuru's grandpa, which is on the verge of closing down. So they both work at the aquarium to help prevent it from shutting down. This aquarium is pretty much like a second home to Kukuru. So she is doing everything in her power to make sure it doesn't shut down. Her unwillingness to not accept reality that the aquarium is going to shut down is keeping her tied to the past. Meanwhile, Fuka doesn't know what she's going to do about her future because she just quit her dream job of being an idol. So she's pretty lost right now. There is one more character I am going to be talking about, and she's kind of a mix of both of our main leads. Like, she wants to move forward and, look forward to the future, but unfortunately, stuff from the past is not making it the easiest for her. First, we're going to talk about Kukuru. She lost her parents when she was super young, and she was raised by her grandparents. So she spent a lot of time at this aquarium when she was little. It's very important to her and pretty much like a second home to her. So she takes it really hard when she finds out that it's going to be shutting down soon. And she does everything in her power to prevent that. And she gets mad and confused at her grandpa and the other workers when they don't help her to try to keep the place open, or they don't see things her way, which drives her even more to work harder to make sure that Gama Gama doesn't shut down. She feels like if she loses Gama Gama, she's going to be losing a part of herself. And when this unpleasant reality starts to, become more and more apparent, Kukuru locks herself in and refuses to let anyone in the aquarium to prevent the shutdown. Again, this has been a place that's always been in her life. How can she live without it? Unfortunately, the same night she protests the aquarium shutting down, there's a huge typhoon. And because the aquarium is an old building, the typhoon starts to destroy it. And this is when she realizes she has to let it go. And this is the first big character development for her. And I'm not gonna lie, I was actually surprised that this is how the story was gonna go. I thought it was gonna be a fairy tale happy ending. They would figure out a way to keep the aquarium open. But no, they went for a way more realistic approach. And I love it for that. So after she graduates, she works at this big brand new aquarium. And pretty much most of the staff that worked at Gama Gama works at this new aquarium too. But instead of being an attendant, Kukuru is put in the marketing team. And she quickly protests this and thinks this is the bad fit for her. But the director thinks this is a great opportunity for her to see things in a different perspective. But of course, Kukuru doesn't see it that way. So at first, she really struggles with her new role, but by the end of the series, she learns to really like her job, and she's pretty dang good at it as well. Kukuru's arc is all about moving forward into the future and not having your past ties hold you back. Because she is so young, it's understandable that the future scares her, and she gets comfort in things that she knows. And it also makes sense why she throws a big hissy fit when things don't go her way. And also her being so young leads into her not really wanting to think about the future. She really lives in the here and now. By the end of the series, she does mature. She's not as childish. She does think about the future, and she doesn't let the past hold her back. She just looks at it fondly. Fuka's journey begins after she quits being an idol, which was her dream. On the way back home, she makes a pit stop in Okinawa and ends up in this small aquarium, Gama Gama. And she has this really emotional vision. One thing I forgot to mention about Gama Gama is that some people have seen some really emotional things at this place, ranging from seeing dead relatives to Fuka seeing this. After seeing this vision, Fuka is determined to find out what she needs to do to start her new chapter in her life. So she starts working at Gama Gama with no experience being, an attendant, but she quickly learns and she becomes a really good attendant by the end of the series. When Fuka started working at Gama Gama, she had no idea what she wanted to do next. And while working there, she started to see how the next chapter in her life was going to play out. She's determined to keep looking forward to the future and not look back. Even when an opportunity comes up where she can go back to being an idol or be in that lifestyle, she turns it down. She did put a lot of thought into this decision, and Kukuru did try to talk her in to take an offer, but she ultimately refused because that part of her life is done. That's in the past. That chapter of her life is done. Chia is the last character I want to talk about. And she's kind of interesting because when she's first introduced, she's really antagonistic, especially to Kukuru. When she first gets introduced, she is in an internship to learn how to be an attendant, and she decides to go to Gama Gama. She's very excited because Kukuru's grandpa is a well-known and famous aquarium director. Needless to say, she's disappointed when she gets there because there's not many people there, and the few people who are there aren't really engaging with the animals. And she also feels like Kukuru is just messing around and not taking her role seriously. Chia is a very serious person and takes her job very seriously. Remember this for later. What she doesn't realize is that the people who are there at the aquarium are regulars, and they spend so much time there that they know pretty much all the wildlife. But since she just sees them hanging out, she just assumes that they don't care about the animals. She later comes back as a co-worker to both the girls when they start working at this new aquarium. She's cool with Fuka now, but she still is kind of a bitch to Kukuru. Later on in the story, something comes up and Chia can't make her shifts. So Kukuru steps in to help out. And instead of thanking her for the help, she ends up crashing out. The reason why she freaks out is that she's a single mom. And in the past, when her child was still a baby, she needed to take time off to take care of him. And her coworkers at her old job eventually started to resent her for it. And she ultimately got fired and then got divorced. This past trauma fucked her up so much that she couldn't even fathom that Kukuru was just helping out because she wanted to. She wants to move forward, but is still haunted by the ghosts from her past. After that, she starts to open up with everyone more and brings her kid to work to meet everyone after keeping it a secret to prevent past events from happening again. Not gonna lie, I did not like her at all when she first showed up, but by the end, I liked her a lot. I really like how these characters bounce off of each other and help each other out through each other's struggles. At the end of the day, they're all trying to move forward in their own way. I really like Kukuru and Fuka's sisterly dynamic and how you feel sympathetic to Chia once she lets her guard down and you know her backstory. Aquatope in the White Sand is about two young girls trying to find their place in the world and not letting the past hold them back and be stagnant. They're trying to find themselves and what dreams and ambitions they have for their future. So in conclusion, don't let reviews like this fool you. There is a lot going on under the hood with this series. I really like this anime and I want to see more from it. Not like another season, but like maybe like an OVA or a movie that shows like, 5 or 10 years in the future just to see where everyone is. I think that would be really cool. I just want to see more of these characters. I want to see them in the future because that's what this series is all about. That's enough of me yapping about Aquatope. Let me know in the comments if you have watched this series and if you like it. If you did enjoy this video, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I also stream on Twitch every Thursday through Saturday, so if you want to come see me play some games, chat, and hang out, I would love to see you there. I am TKashikoi, and I'll see you guys next time.